Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, we are going to be talking about this big move that we are expecting to happen very soon. I'm under the belief that we are now in the countdown to when that's going to happen. I believe that the time is ticking, it is getting pretty close, and I'm going to explain why in today's video, of course, and give you guys my anticipations, expectations, and more. So, with that being said, everyone, what we are looking at right now are three key levels of support that are all about to intertwine with each other that is going to push this price either really high up or really far down, and I think it's going to be a big move really fast. Okay, that's just my guess. Of course, this is all guessing. This is all just just kind of brainstorming of what could potentially happen based off history, based off the analytics. Okay, so what we're looking at right now, again, these three levels. Our squeeze at the moment is between our 20 EMA and our 50 EMA. As you guys do know, we are starting to coil up in between this, and whenever we see a breakout, it is going to have many implications on whether or not we are going to see a pretty solid uptrend continue or a possible, extensive downtrend begin as well, okay? So the three key levels of support that we're looking at, of course, first and foremost is going to be our 50 EMA on the daily charts. Now, the second support level that we are looking at is going to be the daily Gaussian channel. If I do go ahead and push this up, what you can see is that we are now interacting with it as we speak. There has been multiple times we've come down to touch it, but we've never closed within it. And so with that, we would definitely need to pay attention to see how this does go. And then the last key level of support is going to be our 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level, or 0.382, sorry, Fibonacci retracement level from this swing low right here to our swing high. What that's going to do is again create this Fibonacci retracement level at our 0.382 to our 0.5. All of those three levels of support are now intertwining with each other as we do speak. Now, there's going to be three different reasons of support that they are, right? If that makes any sense. The first one is our closing support. Where is the price closing? Even when we're wicking down into these levels, where are we closing? And that's going to be above our 0.382. That's our closing support that the price has not closed below before within the last about 2 weeks, right? Now, the second level of support is going to be our average wick support. What that's going to be is, on average, where are we wicking down to before closing back above that 382? And that is going to be on the 0.5. So that's our average wick support. Now, lastly, we have our average breakout wick support. Whenever we do see a big fall out of nowhere, where are we going down to before recovering to our 0.382 to close back above here? And that's our daily Gaussian channel. So that is going to be our breakout wick support. So remember, we have our closing support, we have our average wick support, and we have our breakout wick support. And all three of these levels are now about to interact with each other in one big move. So what will happen is that if we lose one, we'll lose the rest, right? If we start to close below the 382, we'll likely fall below our 0.5 and our daily Gaussian channel. We'll start to interact within these levels, and we'll start to see the downtrend begin for some type of possible extensive amount of time. Or we will have such a strong level of support here that the price will reach it, as we are now, start to work its way back up, bounce up, clear that 20 EMA, and break out to the top side. You guys know that I will never, ever say 100% that the price is going up or that the price is going down, because that would be doing a disservice to you, because if I'm wrong, you are not readily prepared for that outcome, okay? So if I say it's going to go up and tell you what to do when it goes up and it goes down, you're not prepared for that. You don't have an idea of what some of your options are. So I want to make sure that I do my best to provide you with as many options as I can, whether we go up or down, to where you can take advantage to either one of those moves. So in terms of if we are going to see this thing going up, you guys do know that at the moment we are looking for two things. We first of all, I guess three after we clear the 20 EMA. So first up, we need to clear the 20 EMA. Now there's two different levels that need to be cleared after that. Level number one is going to be our 4-hour Gaussian channel. Let's go ahead and hide the EMAs for a second. And what you can see on that the 4-hour Gaussian channel is that we have struggled to recover our midline multiple times now. We lost it, we came back up to retest, couldn't. So first and foremost, if we capture our 20 EMA on the dailies, we need to go ahead and clear that daily Gaussian channel, that midline. Once we reclaim that midline, there's a pretty good chance, if we get two closes on the 4-hour charts above it, that we may start to see the uptrend continue. Now, of course, second and the most important aspect of the entire uptrend would then be that we are able to come up to recapture $2.87, which is going to, of course, be our 786. If we're able to clear that 786, it is in my full belief that we are going to start to go up to set new all-time highs. So of course, that's our final step before we do start looking to take on some trades. So that's going to be the upside. We've talked about that before, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it. But I'd rather talk about the possibility of this thing starting to fall from this point forward and what we could expect if that was to happen. So if we were to lose our 50 EMA as well as enter into our daily Gaussian channel, we have a very strong level of support that is going to be a key deciding factor in whether or not we are going to a long downtrend or if we are going to see a pretty hard bounce back up to the upside. And that's going to be the interaction with our 100 EMA on the dailies as well as the middle of our Gaussian channel on the daily chart. So remember, on the 4-hour charts, now that we're below it, that midline is acting as resistance. We're running into it. But you guys know, once we flip resistance and we clear it, it then acts as support when we start to come back down. Okay, of course, it's 4 hours to the daily charts, but you guys get the point. This midline acts as resistance if we're below it or support if we're above it. Okay, and so what we've noticed in the past is that while we are in these uptrends, as long as we start to hold above our 100 EMA and our daily Gaussian channel midline, this mid support level, we will continue upwards. Once we start to lose both of those levels, boom, we come back, we lose it. That has been a key sign that we were going to possibly look at some type of continuous fall. Now looky here, it happens very, very often, okay? There's going to be a very key interaction. The price comes up right here. We can see a few times just going up that we were able to, work our way up and we're bouncing above it. We come back down. In that moment that we start to lose this midline and that 100 EMA, you can see from that point forward, we saw about a few weeks to about a month of some red before we were able to recapture that and continue upwards. So it's not to say that we're going to see 2 years of downtrend, but it definitely is a good sign that we may be looking at a good little while that, we may see the price start to be red and start to, be falling and things of that nature. And you can see here another great example. We came back down, and even in this instance, we came back down and lost that mid channel on the daily Gaussian channel, but we held and recovered that 100 EMA and allowed ourselves to go up to set one more high before we eventually lost both of them, which led to the drop. Okay, so as you can see, these two interactions that happen typically very close to each other within 3 days of each other will be a very key deciding factor on whether or not we are going to be looking at a possible month or 2 months of, some red here, or if we're going to be able to establish some support to go set that new high. So if we are again to lose this 50 EMA, pay very, very close attention to the interaction that is going to happen right here, currently at $2. If we lose that level, do anticipate we're probably going down for a little while. If we hold that, again, we will start to look at some upward potential. We'll move our Fibonacci retracement level back down here, and we'll start to look to clear that 786 to the top side. So it is going to happen pretty soon. We are going to see that breakout, in my opinion, pretty soon, and it is going to be a key indicator of what the next maybe 6 to 8 weeks are going to hold. So pay very, very close attention to what we are seeing on these charts. Remember, on the 4-hour charts for the for if we see a breakout to the upside, we got to clear that midline on the Gaussian channel as well as $2.87 at our 786 before we can even be confident that we're going to go set a new high. Now, if we break out to the downside, again, do be looking to see that we enter and interact with this midline as well as the 100 EMA on the daily charts. We have to hold support there to continue upwards, because if we don't, we may be looking at more of an extensive fall to the downside. Of course, whenever we do see a breakout, whenever we do see a move, I'm going to update you guys as soon as I absolutely can. So do stay tuned for that. If you want more information every single day on all of these cryptos and more, go check out the Patreon link down below. I post educational content. We do live technical analysis for Patreon members only. They get access to some of my research when I do it and things of that nature. So definitely go check it out if you do want to stay as up to date as possible. Or when you subscribe, you can press that notification bell to be updated as soon as I do post any single video on this channel. All of those will help you make sure that you don't miss out on any breakouts or any possible trades. But with that being said, of course, I will see you all in the next video. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Peace.